Hello, welcome to another episode of Miller's Musing. Grab that, bring it closer. My name is Simon Miller. Put it towards my lips. Good way to start. And this is, did I say Miller's Musings? I did. Anyway, it's Miller's Musings, I always think of a way to describe it, a weekly vlog type series about mental health and all that kind, just life, about life and the struggles that we all face. Now, over the last 7 days, a question that has been asked to me a lot is about kind of like success based on the one we did last week, but also about failure and about dreams. Now, I think of the reason a lot of people have asked me this is because I was very fortunate and very lucky to live. Yeah, I think we could call it a dream. I think that's fair, as hyperbolic as that sounds. But yes, on Saturday, I managed to live a dream of mine, and I debuted as a professional wrestler in Defiant Wrestling's Rumble match. It genuinely is one of the greatest things I've ever done in my life, hence the smile on my face. And the experience is something that no one can ever take away from me, and I'll be eternally grateful for that. I mean, I worked very hard for it. I've been training for around 2 years to be a professional wrestler. There was a slight gap in the middle due to some things. But at the same time, I still think you should feel fortunate, and I still feel humbled by the experience, because a lot of you that may be watching this were very supportive about that, and that meant the world to me. And so a lot of people have said, Simon, you seem, I don't know, we touched upon this a lot, but, I just go with the feedback that I get. You seem very focused and very motivated. And it was kind of like an idea of, aren't you afraid of failure? Anyway, the impression I got from it is that some people see giving up as, or quitting, or not achieving something as failure. And so I thought, well, that's something I can actually talk about, because I have a very specific viewpoint on that. And I don't know how long this video is going to go, because in short, what I see it as, I don't think, to me, if you try, you cannot fail, which is a bit of a cliche, but it's true. And I think there's a stigma, or at least there's certainly a stigma in my own experiences, that if you start doing something, you do it for a few weeks or a month or 6 weeks, whatever, and then decide, I don't like this, or that thing inside you that when you like something, you have a passion for something, motivates you forward and almost makes you want to do it. If that's not there, and you decide that you don't want to do it anymore, to me, that's not failing. That is strength of character, and that is resolve, and it's being true to yourself. There's nothing wrong with thinking that something is for you, trying to do it, realizing you don't want to be doing it, and then stopping. That takes, if anything, that's stronger than carrying on. If you carry on regardless, even though you don't want to do it because you feel like other people are going to look down on you, or you feel like you need an affectation of some sort, that's just not the case. You're probably trying to cover up for something else that maybe needs to be addressed. And I think there's a lot of pressure on people, especially as you get older. And I am the same to a certain degree. But as you get older, there is a lot of pressure, and at least internal pressure, to achieve these goals. And those goals can be anything. It can be buying a house. Am I in a successful relationship? Am I financially well off? If I die tomorrow, am I going to be happy with my lot? And I imagine most people would say no, because that's why we get up every day, right? Because there is some form of motivation that causes us to do so. And, most of us have jobs and everything like that. And it's the stuff we do outside, which we try and, make fun, a fun occasion. And I guess I just think it's important. I felt like it was important to say something about that. I completely do not believe that quitting is giving up. Like, you see all these stupid gym Instagram posts like, look at this guy. What's your excuse? Well, we don't need an excuse. You don't go to the gym. Don't go to the gym. You should go to the gym if you want to be healthy. Of course, there is a benefit to that in that sense. But I don't buy in to that nonsense at all. And I think if there is something out there that you want to pursue, or there's something that you think you may like, or that you may want to do, or that may light those fires inside of you, or fill that hole. Because that's what it's all about. We said that before. It's all about filling that hole. Everyone's got that hole in their gut where you're like, oh, I feel like something's missing. What do you put in there to make everything happy and to make yourself content? There could be one answer. There could be 400 answers. But going out there to try and find it, that's the risk. That's the success. Getting off of your chair and actually having the courage to do things like that, because it is tough. Using my own experience as a professional wrestling, that's not easy. At least I didn't find it easy. I was nervous. I questioned myself, can I do this? What am I doing? I'm not a young man. I'm not an old man by any stretch of the imagination, but I was a lot older than anybody else there. And you start to think to yourself, is this something I can actually do? Do I want to do this? What if it goes wrong? And there were times when I thought, well, I don't want to do it. But again, the difference was really when I sat down and thought about it, my brain and my stomach and my guts and my arms and my legs were like, no, I want this. Go back out. And, and eventually it brought me focus, and it brought me, living in the moment and all those kind of things. And that's when I knew that it was for me. So I just thought I'd make this video to say that if you have something out there and your worry is, what if I give up? How are other people going to react? I don't usually swear on these, but fuck them. Like that's the ultimate thing, because you should only ever do anything for you. And I'm not saying be selfish. Of course, you should do you should do unselfish acts and be selfless as much as you can. But ultimately, you do have to put yourself first in some scenarios. And I think that is what happens here. And I know loads of people that get into stuff and they almost punish themselves and they bully themselves, like, I should do this because I started. But if you don't want to do it, then don't do it. And again, if you have some kind of like medical condition, someone's told you to run twice a week, then you should probably run twice a week. But that's like it's an asterisk, it's an exception to the rule. This is more about those things, that these targets and these goals that we set ourselves, that we worry we're not going to reach, because if we don't, that makes us, like I say, some sort of a failure. And I just don't believe that at all, because that's not what life is about. Life is just a daily thing, or a moment-to-moment thing, where you wake up and you do your best to get through those 24 hours. And ultimately, that's all it is, and that's all it ever can be. And again, we're going to get to hippie-trippy territory here, but don't forget that time is not real. We made up time. I mean, obviously the sun rises and the sun sets, but everything else is man-made. Really, we're just crazy beings flying through a rock on space, going towards the sun, which is an exciting thought. But yeah, so I just thought I'd make this video to say, look, living your dreams is a great slogan, and it's a great saying. And of course, if it's something you're passionate about and you find success in it, ultimately that's going to give you a form of contentness, a form of satisfaction. You're going to feel rewarded. There's no point pretending otherwise. It's true. However, if you seek out something and you quickly realize that's not your dream, that's almost as powerful, because you can have your list in front of you and you can cross that one off, and you can be like, well, I know that's not for me. And sometimes knowing what's not for you is as important as knowing what is for you. And ultimately, it's a lot harder to find out what is for you, because you have to go through all the other things first. So maybe you want to be a pole vaulter. Go out there, try pole vaulting. If you don't like pole vaulting, you give up pole vaulting. And I think it should be as simple as that. Especially, like I say, if you're doing these things for you, you're doing these things for the individual, then that's all you can really do. Dare to fail is the saying that they used to do, but I flip it now and say dare to succeed. And there is no such thing as failure and success, really. Like I say, it's just about doing these things and seeing if it works for you, and if it gives you, something that you didn't have before, and it does, make you a bit happier. That's going to help with mental health. That's going to help with anxiety. That's going to help with happiness, sadness, loneliness, everything. Because really, a passion or a hobby is about distracting you. And the reason you're distracted is because you're happy. And 9 times out of 10, when you're happy, you do just live in the now, because you're like, well, hey, my body's pumping me full of these chemicals that I enjoy. I'm gonna keep doing it. So really, this is more of a motivational message. Just say if there is something that you love and deep down you think that it's for you, I would suggest that you go. Suggest is a horrible word, but I would encourage you to go and do it and see if the shoe fits. And if you get a few weeks down the line and the shoe's too big or it's not tight enough, take the shoe off, throw it away, find a different shoe. Don't feel obliged. Don't worry about anybody else says. Don't let anybody bully you into doing it. You do this for you, as you should do with all your things in life. Take care of other people and be nice. But ultimately, put yourself first. And I think we could all do a little bit more of that in a good way. Again, not in a selfish way. I want to make that clear. So yeah, it's more of a sentiment and more of an idea than a musing, to say the least. But it is something I've thought about a lot, and I've tried wrestling before and I gave it up because at the time it wasn't right for me. And that's something else that I realized. I look back, it's sort of in my 20s when I was first trying. I just wasn't mentally prepared for it. I developed and I evolved, and I came a long way in my 30s. I'm much more of an assured human being, and I know who I am much more than I ever have done. And that helped me achieve the goals that I did. And I think that's important. But ultimately, I think I said ultimately a lot in this video, but screw it. You have to do... happiness comes from within. And maybe, getting whatever this passion is, getting that, maybe that will help with your own happiness, so that even then, if it does flutter away, you'll be okay, because you will have kind of rebuilt your own foundations, and you can take it from there. Just a thought, or amusing, as they say. Please do like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, all of those kind of things. If you've got anything you particularly want me to talk about, let me know. I'm just going to keep picking random things and talking about them weekly for around about 10 minutes, which we're coming up for now. I want to thank everybody for their kind words about my pro wrestling debut. Genuinely, I couldn't have smiled anymore, both at the time and afterwards, for everyone that said lovely things, and for everyone that says lovely things about these videos as well. I hope they are inspiring to a certain degree, not the right word. I hope they're encouraging, and I hope that they can sort of take the idea that it's still somewhat of a stickler and somewhat of a taboo and hopefully make them a bit more talkable, because I think it's really important to talk about this stuff. Because remember, everybody is struggling, and anyone that says they're not is probably struggling even more than the people that say that they are. Because the first step to recovery is admitting that life is hard. Life is hard, and we all do the best we can. That's the end. I'll speak to you soon.